Welcome back. This is a continuation of the preceding video that we did on the priming process. Now we're going to move to the next step, which is the paste up. This is the actual, I like to call this the wet down paste up sequence. We're going to wet down the beard area. We're going to paste it up. We're going to put our priming mix up on our face. We're going to dip some paste. We're going to buffer and we're going to cut. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to go on ahead and push through the sequence I just did so you can see how both of these processes combine to create the wet mix that is on the face that we're going to paste and we're going to cut. So we're going to prime the beard and skin and we're going to buffer for the blade. So what we do is, again, to recapitulate what we just covered, we're going to drop our cloth into our water. I've got my original priming bar here. I'm going to let those soak for just a second. I have my paste, I have my cutting ball. Squeeze the excess water out of your cloth. Hold it like a diamond in the palm of your hand. Again, tip to tip. Tip of the cloth extending beyond the index finger. The opposite tip of the cloth heading up the arm. We take our, in this case, I'm using a bar primer. Any specific primer that's appropriate for method shaving will work for this. We're going to put our bar right here in the middle of our cloth. We're going to take some cutting balm, which I have in this pump here. It's a little bit more convenient. We're going to put enough cutting balm on the bar to get the job done. This is going to peak the mix. And what we mean by peaking the mix is it's going to pull the water, it's going to pull the slag off the cube, off the priming cube. It's going to pull those two together. It's going to create a concentrated agent called wet mix. There is no shaving cream in method shaving. This is wet mix. We're going to throw some water on the back side of our cloth to what I call backsplash it to kind of charge it up a little bit. And we're going to start to scrub. It's not a particularly complicated process. We're going to scrub. We grab the tip of the cloth. We pull it back to the other side. It takes just a couple seconds. If you notice, we're peaking up now. We're getting a good, thick, wet mix. We're getting thickness and we're getting wetness at the same time. Very difficult thing to do in shaving. We're ready to go here. Take your cloth. If you notice, it's fully loaded on both sides. We've dressed both sides appropriately. We're going to fold it up lengthwise, and we're going to fold it over again, and we're going to fold it back like a pipe. We're going to extract our basic mix, which is kind of fast. It's a little bit thin. We're going to run it one more time, and if you would like, you can certainly put some activator at this point if you'd like to do that. If you'd like to speed it up a little bit, get a little bit wetter, I'll show you how that's done by adding some right now. We're going to fold it over again. Now, we've got an abundance of mix here. I'm going to set this down, on presumably on the side of my sink, and I'm going to take my hydrogenic sac. I'm going to kind of work it up here a little bit, kind of get it concentrated, spread it, and I'm going to cut it. I'm going to use my fingertips. Do not use the palm of your hand, and please do not rub the mix. Do not rub it. We're going to take it on our fingertips, and we're going to lay it up. If you'll notice, the quality of this mix is unbelievable. It's going up cool, it's going up nice and thin, but plenty wet. Notice how I'm just taking it, I'm just cutting it right here, taking a little bit, and I'm laying it up. Those of you who think that this is shaving cream, you're mistaken. This is called wet mix. You cannot get this out of a can. This will not come out of a tub of commercial shaving cream. If you want, you can put all of it up. I would recommend that you not. Put the rest right here, because you'll be using it later on for stretching purposes. Lay up your mix. Now if you'll notice, it's starting to thicken already. Now, if you want, you can certainly hydrate this. You can make it wetter, if you like, by simply dipping your fingers in the water. We covered this in an earlier video. It's nice and thin, plenty wet, a little bit more water. Those of you who want to cut even closer, you can take a little cutting balm right in the palm of your hand, dip your fingers. I'm sorry, that was activator, not cutting balm. I'm applying activator here. I'm going to add a little bit more mix to thicken it slightly, and get it set up, and I'm ready to go. Next step, I take my paste. This is step number 2. On my fingertip, about this much paste on the fingertip, right here. Do not scoop it out, okay? It's not ice cream we're talking about here. This much paste, enough to cover the print on your finger. You're going to take this, put it up on one quadrant right here on the cheek, and with your fingertips, you're going to massage it in. Catch it, work it in the palm of the hand, kind of mix it up. Other side. Fingertips. Fingertips only. Do not rub it, gentlemen. Do not rub it. It doesn't do anything when you do that. All you do is lose it. Fingertips, put it up. Catch it. Collect it at the tip of the fingertips. Pick up your razor. You might need to rinse your hand off. This is pretty slick, pretty fast stuff here. You might need to just kind of pat your hand off on a towel. You're going to hold your razor in one of two positions. I call these two positions the dart. Like you're throwing a dart, these are the feathers. This is the tip of the dart itself. For cutting the north-south of the first form and the center line of the second form. The other position is called the soup spoon position, like you're eating soup. You're just going to hold it in your hand, horizontally like this, thumb on the top, and this is for cutting the third form, center line, what we call lower transverse to the center. You have your mix in the tip of your fingers for stretching, and we're going to proceed then to cut, stretch, cut, stretch. Now those of you who are seeing this thinking that this is a spreading technique, that you can call it that if you want, stretching is more accurate because we're actually stretching the mix. We're making it thinner, not just moving it around. Some people call it spreading. That's fine. I prefer stretching. As we cut it away, we replace it. We cut, we replace it. We cut and replace it. So just to quickly cover this again, you have your cloth, primer, water, your cutting balm, build your priming mix, pull it off the cloth, spread it, dip some paste, massage the paste into the skin. That controls the action of the steel blade. Set it up nicely, keep enough mix on the fingertips so you can stretch while you're cutting through the forms. And we will then go on ahead at that point here soon. In our next video, we'll cover what is called cutting the forms and clearing the quadrants. Cutting the forms and clearing the quadrants. That'll be our next segment. Thank you for your time today.